right. Hello, everybody. All right. So we are here today talking about how you can simplify compliance for wealth management professionals. And we're going to talk about the power of social media archiving tools. We have a lot of clients in wealth management, and all of them have the same commonality, and that they are very frustrated with compliance. And there is no going around it. Most of you have to get licensed. And so you learn all of that when you have your license exam and all that kind of stuff. You have to study it and understand it, but it can be a big pain in the butt when it comes to marketing. So today we're going to go over some of those compliance rules, very high level, because most of you already know what those are. I will then give you some ideas on how you can simplify your life with some technology and some tools that you can use to make it a lot easier on yourself and your company. So we will get started. My name is Desiree Hellick. I am the Chief Queen Bee here at Clarence Services. And we are a boutique team offering digital marketing for our clients. And we do really three main areas that we help our clients with. The first one is social media maintenance. We do that for a lot of our clients. We are also offering webinar as a service. And then we are also the creators of the ultimate marketing implementation plan. So this is really, if you have a team with no direction, then it's a 6-month plan, and we kind of walk you through, hold your hand through building systems for marketing. And a lot of wealth management professionals, they don't really understand what it takes to do marketing, and a lot of you are trying to do it yourself, but you have no time for it. So we walk your hand through, or we hold your hand, walk you through it, and it's a really nice program. The other part of the ultimate marketing implementation plan is for wealth management professionals who have no team at all. They have no bandwidth. They can't do anything. So we literally take all of the marketing on ourselves, and we help you out in that direction. If you have any questions about that stuff, we can talk more later. So today, an overview about what we will talk about. We're going to go over why social media is actually important. We will go over some compliance rules, and I'm only going to do high level because, again, a lot of you already know this stuff, because in order to be licensed, you had to go through all this stuff. And that's why you're here today, because you're frustrated with it. We will take a look at the things you want to look for when you're choosing a good compliance archiving tool. And then we will go over some of those tool options. All right. And if you do want a copy of the slides, I will send them to you later. So please just email me. My email will be at the end. Email me requesting the slides if you're interested. So my first question to you, and please leave the answers in the chat. Are you currently using an archiving tool for marketing? And if yes, then which tool are you actually using? So are you currently using an archiving tool? All right. So what we're going to start with is really, why is social media important? Okay. And then we'll kind of move on to the archiving and the tools and stuff. So first of all, when you're posting consistent, high quality, organic content on your business page or on your personal profile, if you're, a one-man operation, what this really does is it serves as a validation tool. So a lot of people think social media is a lead generator. And unless you are doing paid ads, it's really not a lead generator. Okay. When you're posting organically, what this does is it shows that you are an expert in your industry. You're posting high quality content, and this allows you to stand out from your competition. So if somebody's looking, let's just give an example. I know there's a lot of financial services people on the call today, but if you are, let's just say, a financial planner, and somebody is choosing between you and two others, and one of you isn't on social media at all, and your website is poorly built, another one is mediocre, and then maybe you are posting 5 days a week really great quality content that adds value to your prospects' lives or your current clients, and they see that you have good reviews online, your website is up to date, and you're posting good quality content all the time, and you are their go-to for when they are ready to pull the trigger, right? So they're going to choose you over these people that have a poor online presence. So keep that in mind as to why social media is important. You're not necessarily going to meet new people on social media that will become clients. You may eventually, if you get enough followers. It's more of that validation tool where people already found out about you and they're checking you out. So keep that in mind. It also enables you to engage with your audience. This is really important because people can see how you answer questions. They love to be paid attention to. So if they have a question, you answer it right away. That's a really great thing. So engaging with your audience is important, and make sure you have somebody keeping track of that. It doesn't have to be you, just have a team member on standby so that if there are any questions coming up on your social media platforms, that you can actually answer them. What social media also does is it allows you to control your audience. So back in the day, if you had 10,000 followers, it was amazing, right? It was all about quality over quantity. That's not how I want you to think with social media. You are able to choose who you ask to follow your business page, and that makes it very high quality. Okay, so yes, you can pay for gigs that, where people get you 10,000 followers, but they're not going to be quality followers. You want people who actually matter and who would be interested in your services in the future. May not be now, may not be tomorrow, but maybe in a year or two, they become a client, right? So it allows you to control your audience. And then it keeps you top of mind when prospects are ready to invest. So what I get a lot is, posting 5 days a week is really a lot. I think that's bombarding my audience. It's really not, because unless you are on social media 24 hours a day and you're constantly looking at that feed, which really nobody on earth does, then okay, maybe you're going to see something daily, which actually isn't even that much. But if you're only going on, maybe you have a routine where, you drink your coffee in the morning and you log on and you see these posts coming up on your feed, most people are going to miss all of your posts. So if you're doing 5 days a week, that's bare minimum for you to actually make a difference and for them to see you a couple times a week, so that you are at the top of their mind when they decide to pull the trigger and actually invest in whichever services or products you offer. So keep that in mind about why social media is important. Now, please tell me in the chat, do you post consistently on your social media business pages? Do you post consistently? And that can mean anything to you. That can mean once a month. Rosario, no. It could be 5 days a week, it could be 100 times a month. I mean, whatever you do, as long as it's consistent, let me know. Okay, so it looks like most people don't do that. And usually it's because you do not have the bandwidth to do it. Now let's move on to kind of the boring part, but here is a compliance rules overview. So most of you already know this, because if you are licensed, you're going to know a lot of these compliance rules. And that's why I'm not digging into any of the details. The issue is the constant quality content. Yes, I agree, Lucy, definitely. It's hard to come up with great content every single day. So for the compliance rules overview, we're just going to go through, there's 3 slides of these. It's very high level, and I just want to make sure you guys are aware that this is all the stuff that you have to worry about. And I'm sure you already know this. So first one is truth in advertising. It's really sad that we need a compliance rule to say that, but a lot of people can, bend the rules a little bit. And all this says is that all of your marketing materials, whether it's on paper or online, on your website, on ads, social media, they have to be truthful, accurate, and not misleading. That is very straightforward, right? I hope all industries have to abide by that. Then there is the unfair or deceptive acts or practices, which is really misrepresenting your terms or conditions, or maybe leaving out important information that your prospects or clients should know about. They kind of go hand in hand. Then there's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau rules. And so the CFPB oversees financial marketing practices. They enforce the regulations such as the Mortgage Acts and Practice, the MAP, advertising rules. So it just restricts certain advertising practices related to mortgage products. So this one's specific to mortgages. So, we have mortgage brokers that would have to abide by that. Then there's the Securities and Exchange Commission rules. So the SEC and any of the products or services that you're offering, obviously it has to adhere to the SEC regulations. And this is anything that you're advertising, and the rules aim to prevent misleading or fraudulent promotion of investment opportunities. So don't make promises that you can't keep, pretty much. Then there's the FINRA rules. Most of you know FINRA. This regulates broker dealers and imposes specific rules on advertising and communications with the public. You have to ensure that your marketing materials comply with Rule 2210, which really covers content standards and disclosure requirements. So a lot of the times you have the clauses on the bottom of your social media posts or your emails. That's where that would fall under. Then you have the FHA, which really just goes, you cannot be discriminatory in your advertising. You can't just say a certain type of person can only buy a house in this area, or I can only deal with a certain type of person. That's, goes without saying. The CAN-SPAM Act, this one is being able to opt out or unsubscribe of emails and stuff like that. And then you have the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, where this is if they don't opt into something. So the CAN-SPAM Act allows you to opt out of it. The Telephone Consumer Protection Act has to say that the people on your list actually opted into receiving whatever you are sending them. We have the GDPR, which that protects the European Union citizens. And it's really just, the privacy laws with data collection, all of that stuff. Then the National Do Not Call Registry. I always wonder if this actually works, because I swear I've put myself on this registry 1,000 times, despite me being a marketer. And so what this really says is that you have to check the list first before and see if somebody has opted out and, put themselves on the National Do Not Call Registry. If they are on it, you are not allowed to send them marketing information. Then there's the social media compliance, and that's just record keeping for your social media posts. I believe it's 3 years that you need to archive your social media and other marketing. There's always state-specific regulations that are different than the federal laws. So just make sure, depending on which state you are actually living in, that you are aware of what laws that those are. We all know that non-compliance can lead to significant fines, legal penalties, and your reputation could be damaged. I just want to open up to the chat really quickly. If there's questions so far, give me a thumbs up if everyone's good. Otherwise, ask me a question if you have any about the previous slides. All right, so which rules do you get most frustrated with? Or all of them? Obviously, there's kind of a lot to abide by, but really, if you remain truthful and you're honest, you're going to be fine. You're going to follow all the rules. I think what most of our clients get the most frustrated with is the lack of being able to do case studies for, there are too many, I agree. Case studies are really excellent modes of marketing materials, and you can use them to really demonstrate how you've helped clients in the past. Disclosures, yes, oh my gosh, the lists of them. But case studies are a really good marketing tool. So you have to be very, very vague. They're not saying you cannot use case studies, but they're saying you really can't say that, oh, I made this person this much money kind of thing. Not allowed to do that. There's a lot of regulations against those kinds of things. So you have to be very broad, and really case studies, the more specific you can get, the more effective they will be. So let's move on to choosing the right compliance tool. Okay. So what are some of the things that you should look for when you're choosing these tools? Because there's so many different ones to choose from. The first one is platform coverage. Okay. So you want to know, if you're on social media, how many platforms are you actually on social media? do these tools actually have the coverage? Maybe you're looking for your website content to be tracked. Maybe you want to archive your emails or text messages. Depending on how involved you are in marketing and how many channels that you cover, you want to make sure you're using the right tool for those. Platform coverage is something you really want to look out for. The next things are, you want to look for automated archiving, real-time monitoring, keyword filtering, and compliance reporting capabilities. Okay, these are 4 very important things that you want to make sure that these compliance tools are covering. Another big one is data security, right? You want robust data encryption, access controls, and secure storage to protect sensitive information. The next one is ease of use. Some platforms can be super complicated, and if you are not super tech savvy, you want to be able to open the tool and you want it to be super easy to use. And if it's not, I would suggest moving on to the next one, because you're going to spend so much time not only training yourself, but then training somebody else on your team to actually be taking care of this. Scalability is another big one. So if you're a growing firm, you want to make sure that you are able to scale not only for data storage, but also for licensing for your users who are actually logging into the systems. So scalability is a big thing, which also runs into cost, right? So some of these platforms, like, they'll give you a free trial or free up to so many users. They're really cheap for the basic plan. As soon as you increase those licenses, it gets super expensive. There's a lot of marketing tools like that as well. And so that's one thing you want to make sure that it's scalable, but it's also cost effective, because all of us are on a budget. And finally, customer support. Some of them include customer support for every package that you choose. Others, it's only on, the larger enterprise models. So make sure you know the customer support, because a lot of times if you have like data storage issues or you can't find something and you need help, you want to be calling them, and you want them to actually be speaking with you and helping you, rather than just having automated systems, or, you're constantly on the phone with support, they never call you back. So these are the things that will help you choose the right compliance tool. Do we have questions so far? Give me a thumbs up if you're still with me. So let's go. We're going to give you a list of some of these tools and just tell you the characteristics of each of them and see if any of them are a good fit for your company. None of these, I am not married to any one of these tools. I've used most of them. Smarsh is a really big one that we use probably most than others. But nobody's telling me to put these on my slides. I went through, did some research, and this is what we've come up with. So the first one is Hootsuite Compliance. So Hootsuite, if anybody knows, was originally a social media scheduler. They still are a social media scheduler, but they've decided to add the dedicated compliance module to it, which is a really nice feature. So they only capture and archive social media communications. They don't do other channels of communication. They have the real-time monitoring, so you can stay updated with all of your social media activities, which is nice. They have the keyword filtering, so you can find content, could be a year, 2 or 3 ago. And then they have the automated archiving processes. So everything is automatically archived for when you need it, if you ever need it. Let's say you got audited. And then they, ensure compliance standards within your industry. Smarsh is one that we are very familiar with. It is more of a comprehensive archiving platform, and they capture multiple communication channels like social media, emails, and mobile texting. It's nice if you're doing all of those things rather than you finding platforms for each of them. This is a one-stop shop, which is nice. So it ensures that holistic approach to compliance, and it facilitates efficient regulatory compliance and e-discovery, which is nice as well. Actiance is now part of Smarsh, so they merged. So they pretty much do the same thing with the 3 channels: the social media, email, and then now that Actiance is with Smarsh, they also do the text messaging. They enforce policies to maintain regulatory compliance. I hope so. They also facilitate the e-discovery process for the legal requirements. And they have also had the automated archiving tools to ensure you're preserving your data. Global Relay is nice because this one is tailored to the financial firms. And they specialize just in social media platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, the big ones. They ensure compliance with stringent industry regulations. It's nice that they're focused on the financial industry. They offer secure and compliant solutions for your social media communications. So Global Relay, the difference is they only focus on social media and they are tailored to financial services firms. The next one is Page Freezer. So they archive content on your website and social media platforms. So this is really nice because, whether your marketing material is, on a social media or whatever, a lot of times you're pulling information from your website. So it's also archiving what's on your website. And your social media platforms. And it incorporates data encryption for enhanced security. So that's a nice feature about Page Freezer. They maintain detailed audit logs like all the other ones. They also have advanced search capabilities, so you can find content in the past. And also, obviously, they ensure compliance with industry-specific regulations. The next one is Archive Social. So again, this is only a social media platform. They are they're specific to regulated industries. So not necessarily only the financial services industry, but regulated industries. They preserve the archive data and they allow it to be searchable. And then they just help you organize the regulatory requirements for social media. And there's Proofpoint social media archiving. So this used to be Nextgate. If anybody's using these platforms, definitely let me know in the chat if you're using others or if I'm missing any. But they do only social media archiving solutions. And they have content filtering for this one, just like the others with the keyword. And then they provide moderation capabilities for maintaining content standards. They implement access controls to ensure data security. So data security is one that's one of them on the list. You want to make sure. Aid organizations in here adhering to all the regulatory requirements. And one question, are you currently tracking progress on your social media pages? Do you track it? How do you know if you're better one month than the last month? So I would say for specific to or to social media, Hootsuite is pretty good because they've been around for a long time, and they're very good at what they do. Their platform is easy. So I think, and which one do I suggest? It's really hard depending on what your solution, your situation is at your firm. So if you are doing social media, email marketing and text messaging for your prospects, or if that's part of your marketing, then you would want to go with Smarsh or Appiance, which is now part of Smarsh. So I would say Smarsh because it's more of a comprehensive thing. If social media is all you're worrying about, I think Hootsuite is pretty good. Or I would say, Global Relay would be great if you're in the financial industries firm because they're specific to that industry. And I really like that when there's a platform that is only specific to your industry. They know a lot more than the more broad platforms will. So Global Relay is nice if you're only worried about social media and because they are targeted just to financial firm. If you need more than just social media, I would go to Smarsh/Appiance. And then if you're not necessarily in the financial services field, then maybe Hootsuite Compliance. But again, it depends on your situation, your budget, prices and packaging, they change all the time. So I would just take a look at them. So you don't have to take notes, I will send you this presentation later. If you just send me an email, you can even say it in the chat, please send me the presentation, and I'm happy to do that. All right, so we're going to move on really quickly just to end the presentation, how to measure success on social media. A lot of people just kind of have social media. They don't really care or know any better to track the progress on them. And it's important that you do, because we want to be advancing. We want to be growing our businesses. And a way to do that is to track where you were before and see where you are now. So I want, just to keep it really simple, the 4 things I want you to track, and this is, across all social media platforms, so it doesn't really matter where your presence is. Make sure you're tracking your followers, because really that is how you're going to grow your audience, right? Whether they're current clients or their prospects, grow your followers. And a lot of times you can do that by just inviting your connections to like your business page. Okay. Or just to like your page if you are, if you only have a personal profile. Your likes, you want this is how many people are doing a thumbs up or a love sign on your posts. Make sure you're tracking your likes. Clicks are really good, because clicks, hopefully what you're posting on social media is linking to your website. So really what you want to do on social media is you want to give tidbits and hooks of information, and you want people to click through to that to find more information and read more. So if you're giving them 3 ways to save money, let's just say, give them 1 way on the actual social media post, link to the other 2 ways so that you drive traffic to your website. Very important for clicks. And you want that to increase every month. And if it's not, then you want to make sure you're posting better content that is allowing you to click through. A lot of people don't add any call to actions on their posts, but why not? If somebody's interested in and engaged in your posts, you give them something to do to find more. So likes are engaging, but comments are really deep engagement. So make sure you are responding to the comments. And a lot of these social media archiving tools also have reporting, so that will help you with that as well. So you can keep track of all these things. There'll be dashboards and all that kind of stuff. So these are the 4 really simplified things that I want you guys to be tracking for social media. So just an overview of what we went over today. We talked about why social media is important. Remember, it's not necessarily a lead generation tool. It's more of a validation tool. We went over some compliance rules that can be very frustrating. We went over what makes a great compliance archiving tool and what you should look out for when shopping around. Then we went over some examples of good compliance tools. And then we talked about what you should be tracking on social media. Just for our next webinar, it is on October 3rd, and it is called Why Every Wealth Management Professional Should Be Using Webinars. And so, yes, it's a webinar about webinars, but it's a really excellent presentation, and I hope all of you can attend. I will open up the offers in a second so that you guys can actually register for it. And so I'll do that in a minute. 1 question for all of you before I open it up to your questions. Was the timing of this webinar convenient for you? I know you guys are here, so it makes sense that it was, but is there a better time of day or day of the week for you that would make this a better time, more convenient? Please let me know in the chat. Okay, so today as you all know, we do social media maintenance for almost all of our clients right now. And we do focus on the financial services industries. We have an exclusive offer right now we post 5 days a week on your social media platforms. We also manage your Google business page, which is really important for you guys. We'll validate it if it's not already. So we will help you through the process if you don't already have a Google business page validated. And we will do reporting calls every month so that we track everything. We will make sure it's hooked up to your archiving tools. And we will also we'll produce really great customized quality content that that focuses on your brand and your voice and the products and services that you offer. And it's a really nice package. It's just month to month, but it's regularly $1,500 a month, and we will give you $500 off every month, lifetime, if you sign up. So as long as you stay, you will get the discount. So it ends up being $1,000 a month. That offer ends tomorrow, end of day. Okay. So I am going to open that up right now in the offer section. It probably should pop up on your screen, and you can learn more if you click on the button, or just tell me. And if you do fill out the form, just mention this webinar, and I'll make sure that you guys get the discount for sure. If you guys have gaps in marketing and you don't really know what your issues are, or you're neglecting marketing just because it's a big beast, right? You can always hop on a free discovery call with me. I just opened that up in the offer as well, so you can click on that and book some time. I love talking about marketing, so make sure you take advantage of that. And I am now going to open it up to questions. Remember, if you would like the slides, please email me and I will send them to you. So let me know if you have any questions. Actually, one more thing. Our next webinar, I just opened that. That's also in the chat right now. So you can register for that for October 3rd. Same time, 11 a.m. Eastern. It seems like people like that time. So unless you guys tell me otherwise, I will absolutely change it. Or, the recording is always sent out if you do miss it. So make sure you look out for that. But I appreciate everybody being here. And make sure you click on that. So I'm going to keep it open for a couple more minutes. And thank you so much, everybody. I will wait for a few more questions if anyone has them, and hopefully we'll see you on October 3rd. All right, everybody, I'm going to close it down now. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.